Imagine discovering that an entire nation, 330 million people, has been keeping a secret from you since 1954. Not a military secret, not a state secret, a condiment. Hidden Valley Original Ranch. A creamy, peppery, herb-flecked dressing invented by a Nebraska plumber turned cowboy who mixed buttermilk with dried herbs and served it to construction workers on a dude ranch. That man, Steve Henson, died in 2007, having likely never imagined that his recipe would one day become the flashpoint of a transatlantic culinary reckoning. But that is exactly what happened in the summer of 2026. British people at home in their kitchens, wandering through American supermarkets, sitting in sports bars, standing in airport terminals, encountered ranch dressing with an intensity that bordered on religious awakening. They dipped, they tasted, and one by one, their understanding of what a sauce could be collapsed in real time. This is not a compilation. This is a documentary investigation into what happens when an island nation built on tea, brown sauce, and mayonnaise meets America's greatest condiment export. 7 encounters, 7 British people, 1 unanimous conclusion that reshapes everything we thought we knew about the cultural divide between 2 nations separated by a common language and an ocean of ranch dressing. This is Britain versus ranch, the first documented case. A British woman at home in the United Kingdom, a nation where ranch dressing occupies roughly the same cultural space as a foreign diplomat, acknowledged but not embraced, present in specialty aisles but never at the center of the table. She had heard about ranch on TikTok months earlier, filed it under American things I'll probably never try, and moved on with her life. Then a package arrived. Someone, an American, acting as an unknowing ambassador of condiment diplomacy, had mailed her a bottle.
So one thing that's quite popular and common in the US that isn't very popular and common here is ranch dressing, and
she approached it like an artifact, poured a small amount, noted the thick, mayonnaise-like consistency with mild suspicion, acknowledged the smell, not unpleasant, but unfamiliar, herbaceous in ways British sauces generally are not. She armed herself with cucumber sticks, the humblest possible delivery vehicle, and committed.
So someone has kindly sent me some of this original ranch. I'm not sure if this is like the go-to ranch flavour, but yeah, I'm going to try it. Okay, so I've poured a little bit into a container. It's really thick and smells quite mayo-y. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'm just going to dip some cucumber sticks into it because I literally have nothing else in my house, but here we go. Let's see how it tastes.
The reaction arrived in 3 distinct stages, and I want to be precise here because this pattern repeats across every subject in this documentary. Stage 1, the silence. That half-second of processing where the brain encounters a completely novel flavor architecture and has no existing category to place it in. Stage 2, the involuntary vocalization. Oh hell yeah, that's nice. Not a considered review, not a performance for the camera, but a reflex. The words escaped before she could filter them.
Oh, it's good, isn't it? Oh, hell yeah, that's nice.
Stage 3, the verdict, delivered with the gravity of someone announcing a life change. 10 out of 10. I'll be using this now.
10 out of 10. Oh, I'll be using this now.
55 seconds of footage, and in the 20 seconds that mattered most, a woman went from never having tasted ranch to declaring it a permanent resident of her refrigerator. That velocity of acceptance tells you something. People do not adopt new condiments this way. Condiments are inherited, passed down through families, embedded in regional cuisines, defended with irrational loyalty. Nobody wakes up one morning and decides to switch salad dressings. Unless, apparently, the dressing is ranch. If the first case was about discovery in isolation, 1 woman, 1 bottle, 1 cucumber, the second is about confronting the sheer, disorienting scale of American ranch culture. Callum, in the United Kingdom, a well-stocked supermarket might carry 1 ranch dressing. 2 if the manager is feeling adventurous. It sits between the mayonnaise and the vinaigrettes, modest and unassuming, a quiet concession to American cultural influence. Callum was not prepared for what awaited him. It tells you everything about where this story is heading. He carried a full bowl of ranch through the streets of New York. Not a packet, not a sample, a bowl, before leaving the country. The supermarket was not a shopping trip. It was a recruitment center. And then there was him, the skeptic, the analyst, the British man who approached this experiment with a prediction so confident it bordered on arrogance. Ranch, he declared before tasting a single drop, was going to be average. 4 out of 10. His reasoning was sound by British standards. Mayonnaise is the undisputed champion of cold emulsified sauces in the United Kingdom. On chips, on sandwiches, in tuna, in egg salad, mayonnaise reigns. Ranch was an American pretender to a throne that belonged to Mayo, and he was certain the data would confirm his priors. He poured Hidden Valley onto a slightly burnt pepperoni pizza. He addressed the camera with the swagger of a man who believed he had already won the argument. He had not.
And today, we're trying Hidden Valley, the original ranch.
I kind of burnt the pizza, I'm not going to lie to you, just a little bit. I shouldn't have done this on the table. I think that this is going to be average. I'm going to put my head on the line and say that this gets about a 4 out of 10. Ranch isn't a thing here. We like mayo. Mayonnaise. Mayonnaise on everything. Delicious. Nutritious. I want the most cheesy. That's what I want. How much ranch do I put on? Woo! Oh, it's just gushing out like a... Let's try and be PG today. Is it as good?
What happened next is one of the most complete reversals ever captured on camera in the history of food content. The man who predicted a 4 out of 10 did not simply upgrade his score. He experienced a full system collapse, the kind of psychological event where prior beliefs are demolished so thoroughly that the only available response is radical honesty.
Why don't we have this? You're creamy, you're like peppery, you're everything that I thought I wanted in a partner. No, we can't. People are watching.
Oh my God, why don't we have this? He addressed the ranch dressing directly, as if it were a person with whom he had just fallen unexpectedly in love. You're creamy, you're like peppery, you're everything that I thought I wanted in a partner. Then awareness struck. No, we can't. People are watching. He understood he was having a private moment in public, and he could not stop himself. The ranch had bypassed his critical faculties entirely and gone straight to whatever part of the brain governs desire.
Since 1954, you guys have had this. Since 1954. It is no longer a secret. The British are coming for it.
Then came the history. Since 1954, you guys have had this. Since 1954. He did the math in real time. 72 years. 72 years that Britain spent in the condiment wilderness. 72 years of mayonnaise while Hidden Valley sat across the Atlantic, waiting patiently, like a sleeper agent awaiting activation. And then the pivot from review to foreign policy. It is no longer secret. The British are coming for it. We're coming back, baby. Don't you chuck our tea in the harbor.
Fire. My God, it's so creamy. Just feel my arteries.
The Boston Tea Party, December 16, 1773, invoked as the preamble to a ranch dressing heist. This man was not joking. He was articulating a national mandate. And every British person watching knew exactly what he meant. Not every British ranch encounter ended in conversion, and this is important. A documentary that only shows unanimous enthusiasm is not a documentary. It is propaganda. The truth is more textured, and the fourth case in our investigation provides necessary counterbalance. A woman who had recently discovered ranch on pizza, a pairing that seems obvious to Americans but registers as eccentric to the British palate, invited her partner Josh to participate in the experiment. Josh declined. Josh was on the garlic butter, and as she made emphatically clear to the camera, Josh will not be moved. This is the garlic butter man. He is not hostile to ranch. He is simply loyal to his existing condiment framework. And loyalty in British food culture counts for something.
Alright, here we go. Got my pizza, got my ranch. Dip, 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 dip. That's good, you know. Josh is on the garlic butter. He will not be moved.
Never.
That's his thing. Mine's salad cream.
Her own verdict was warmer but measured. That's good. I could understand that. It makes sense to me. This is not the language of conversion. It is the language of diplomatic recognition. She was not throwing out her salad cream, but she was acknowledging ranch as a legitimate pizza companion, which in the context of British food culture is already a significant concession.
Alright, here we go. Got my pizza, got my ranch. Dip, 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 dip.
But the most revealing moment, the moment that tells you everything about ranch's power, came at the very end. After Josh had refused to participate, after he had made his garlic butter allegiance clear, the camera caught her reaching across and stealing his ranch.
Have it again. Oh. A ranch thief. What do you think?
A ranch thief, she admitted, caught in the act. Even the partner of the garlic butter loyalist could not resist. Even in a household divided, ranch found its way in. Not through argument, not through persuasion, through access. And that, in the end, is all ranch needs. No investigation of Britain's relationship with ranch would be complete without addressing the most provocative, the most dangerous, the most culturally loaded question of them all. Does ranch work with a full English breakfast?
Ever since the tournament, everyone's been obsessing over ranch, so I thought I would try it with a full English breakfast to see how well it really goes with British food.
This is not a casual inquiry. The full English breakfast is sacred ground, eggs, bacon, sausage, black pudding, hash browns, grilled tomatoes, baked beans, fried bread or toast, and a pot of tea. It is not merely a meal. It is a national identity expressed in protein and carbohydrates. It is what Britain serves when it wants to remind itself who it is. To introduce an American condiment onto this plate, to suggest that something created in a Nebraska kitchen in 1950 for as any business anywhere near black pudding, is to risk something far deeper than a bad taste, is to risk cultural sacrilege. One British creator, undeterred by the stakes, decided to find out. Methodically, scientifically, component by component, a ramekin of ranch, a fully loaded plate, and the courage to document whatever happened next.
I'm going to go straight in with beans on toast. And let's get... we're not off to a very good start. You cannot go wrong with a hash brown. I feel like this is just a classic anyway. Like, this is fun. Now we're talking hash brown, black pudding, and a plum tomato. Big dollop of ranch. Woo! No, not black pudding and ranch working together. I'm shooketh down to my British core. Sausage and ranch. Why is that good? If you're not cremating your bacon, what are you doing with it?
The results were, and this is the only word that fits, shooketh. Beans on toast failed immediately. We're not off to a very good start. Ranch had met its first genuine defeat. Hash browns, by contrast, were a triumph. Now we're talking. Black pudding and plum tomato earned emphatic approval. Sausage prompted genuine bewilderment. Why is that good? A question asked not in complaint but in wonder, the sound of someone whose expectations are being actively rewritten in real time.
Why is that good? If you're not cremating your bacon, what are you doing with it? How bad could bacon and ranch be? The flavours, they're working.
Bacon and ranch delivered what she described as flavor synergy. My flavors. They're working. The crumpet was a bridge too far. I don't even know if a cup of tea can save me from that one. And yet, in the final analysis, the tea and toast combination with ranch outperformed beans on toast, a conclusion that should not make logical sense to anyone familiar with British cuisine, and yet, by the evidence presented, was undeniably true. That was the combination you weren't expecting this morning. Cheers to that. Ranch had invaded the English breakfast. Sacred ground had been tested. It held, mostly. But ranch had proven it belonged at the table. And that is more than anyone could have reasonably predicted.